Bars in Manchester I've got way too expensive. I've been managing bars my whole life, so I can speak on this because there's a darker influence at work here. There is a southern influence that people don't talk about. Every bar likes to focus on, well, the price has gone up because of COVID, because of tax, because of inflation, but London has a massive impact, and here's why. You see, bars work out the price from two main factors. Number one is GP and number two is location. When it comes to GP, a lot of it sounds like gobbledygook. You don't need to understand it. All you need to know about GP is it's the price of goods and a specific percentage, which then works out the price. So if they've got 70% GP, if a pint costs the bar 51 pence, they need to sell it at £2.21. If a cocktail costs them £1.60, they need to sell it at £6. I haven't worked out the maths on that, but it's basically the same for everything. Now, a big influence on GP is cost of goods from where you are. Right, so an upscale restaurant, the pint's going to be more expensive because it's a more expensive pint. The cocktail's going to be more expensive because the ingredients they put in that cocktail are just more expensive, as opposed to a cheaper bar or a bar that's got bigger buying power. Think about Wetherspoons. They can charge so little because the cost of goods is so little, right? So that's a big factor on why things like in Manchester, something's going to cost way less than it is in a place like Scotland or London. Location, it's not just about how much disposable income the people in that area have, it's how expensive is the bar to rent. Electric bills, plumbing, maintenance. If the rent for the bar is £1,500 a month in Manchester, it might be £2,000 or £3,000 in London. The rent's double the price, so it makes sense that the goods that they sell are going to be double the price. Am I making sense here? To pour a pint in Manchester, GP and location, you've got the rent of the bar, you've got the price of the actual beer that you're buying, you've got the price of the glass, you've got the price of the electricity, you've got the wage that you have to pay the staff to actually pull the pint. All of this equals a pint worthy of being sold for £2.50. Where in London, all of that's double the price. Even the staff that you hire and their rent and how much they need to make per month to live is double the price. So the pint was always going to be £5, £6, maybe £8. It just made sense. Why this is important: about 5 or 6 years ago, in the beginning of COVID, a lot of bars closed down. We were just left with all these like empty spaces. A lot of people was pausing their operations until we got through COVID. But London bars saw an opportunity because, like I said, London bars are the rent's way more expensive than it is in Manchester bars. So the only companies that could kind of warrant, because during COVID, if you was purchasing a new bar, you was kind of purchasing the idea that you had to hold on to it for at least 3 years before it even became profitable. And the only places that, that seemed like a good deal to was London bars. Places that open with like £500,000 budget for the first quarter in London could afford to like buy the full 2 years in Manchester. So it was a good deal for big London corporations. So they opened all these Manchester bars, right? And they started buying them up. And this is the time when you started seeing all these places like Sexy Fish, and I can't think of any off the top of my head, but all these kind of London bars. Lucky Cat, I think. Now what you would think would happen is the price of goods would reflect the price of Manchester. GP, remember that, we all shoot for the same number. However, these guys found a way to be able to make more money, in that if they were serving things at London prices, they would make an absolute killing because the staff is cheaper, the rent's cheaper, the electricity is cheaper, everything behind the scenes is cheaper. So if they sell a pint here for £6, they make way more money than if they sold a pint in London for £6. So they decided, let's just do that. And they told us, the consumer, it was because of things like company structure. They want consistency across all their bars. They want you to be able to go to one of their bars in London and one in Manchester and one wherever you are in the world and know exactly what you're getting. It's consistency across the bar. They didn't think it was fair that you would spend £6 for a drink in London, but then come to Manchester and spend £3. They didn't find that fair for their consumers. That's the story that they told us. So the reality of it was they put the price up because they saw an opportunity to do so. They should never have started charging those kind of prices. These London bars, they come to Manchester, they hire people in Manchester. They hire consultants and managers who know what the local price is and know what things should be priced at, reflective to how much, you know, it cost them to buy something. They knew exactly what they were doing, but they still made it super expensive. But it's all right, right? Because no one's going to go to them. Because why are you going to go to the London bar spending £6? Well, why are you going to go to a London bar where it's £6 for a pint and not the bar next door where it's £3? Well, this is why they've never done it before, because it just would never work, right? However, after COVID, there were so little bars in these like popular areas that they could do that. They could get away with it because the competition was so slim. And remember, these guys could be non-profitable for years before it started affecting their bottom line. So they just had to hang tight, which they did. And more London bars saw this as an opportunity, and more London bars started opening. Before long, you kind of had a triangle of London establishments in every area. And this triangle, a bar here, a bar here, and a bar here, all charging double the prices of the bars close by. But all the bars close by were closing down. We're seeing rent going up. We're thinking to themselves, well, if they've got the cheek to charge double the price, I'm going to charge double the price. And before long, the whole price in the area went up. You see, of course, inflation and tax and bills has a big impact on the bottom line. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of these city centre bars, I'm not talking about local villages here, I'm talking about the city centre, they all just did it because everyone else just did it. And everyone else who did it was London corporations during the times of COVID, just to try and make extra money. And that is quite a long explanation of why London ruined the Manchester bar scene. It's just not worth it to go out anymore. It's a luxury that you're not worth paying for. It's way too expensive, way more expensive than, you know, what you get. What you get from your money is not worth it, is what I'm trying to say.